Hi, I want to talk about a different approach to IT desktop security. Let's take a look at how things are done currently and how we could do them differently in the future. So, the standard approach for us to do IT security would be to use things like firewalls, antiviruses, policies, patching, maybe a bit of luck to go in there. We're pushing this across Windows devices, servers, desktops, laptops, VDI, all of these architectures that we're responsible for, and the idea is to protect them. Unfortunately, the standard approach, all of these bits of software have to be maintained constantly. We've got to be updating them regularly. The reason behind this is because of they don't know what the threat is. You hope that the threat isn't going to hit you first, and that your antivirus, your firewall rules, or whatever security measures you've got in place are already aware of this problem and to stop it from happening for you. So, does it work? Well, to a degree, yes. But quick look on the newspapers and look on the internet and you'll find the latest hack, the latest problem, the latest company that's been attacked. And we just hope it's not us. It's what we call reactive software. It's got to know what the problem is and then react to it. So, simple answer, does it work? Sometimes, with luck. So what's wrong? Well, basically, the software we're using in industry is for home users. Antivirus. It's there to protect the home user. It has to be updated constantly all of the time. We can't put too restrictive software onto home users because then they won't be able to run the programs, download what they want from the internet. But we use this in business. Maybe it's not the right way to do it. Is there another way? Well, this is the idea of this video, is to introduce you to a slightly different approach and see whether or not this will fit your business. So what we're going to look for here is a proactive security solution for businesses. Draw a line in the sand and say, I'm going to do something different. We're going to do this a different way. We're going to be proactive about this. And AppSense Application Manager can help in this area. So again, looking for a proactive business solution for security. So how does it work? Well, quite simply, we have a gold build. Remember, we're not talking home users here, we're talking IT infrastructure in your business. So we have a gold build, built centrally by, let's say, yourselves. And on all Windows operating systems, there is the file system NTFS. Every single file on that gold build, underneath NTFS file ownership, will belong to the person that built that gold build, or a group of users, a finite group of users. Or it might also be, for example, HPCA install or trusted install accounts. So once we've got that gold build, we know all of those files on that machine belong on that machine. They should be there, and they all have this NTFS ownership, and it'll be one of 3 or 4 NT accounts. We know that gold build is safe. It's stable. But then we introduce the user. And this is where the problem can happen. If we didn't introduce the user, chances are we'd have no problems. Unfortunately, bless them, we love them, but we've got to introduce them into it. So, how does it work? Defense, proactive defense at the core. So we start off with the user, and we can see the user here, sat there, and the user ultimately is going to execute a file. Now, we're not talking Word documents or Notepad documents here. They're not executables. The actual executable would be Notepad.exe or Word.exe. So it's the executable files. Now, the user tries to run this file, and the very first thing that we look at is the executable. Take a look at the trusted owner of that file. Who's the owner, the NTFS owner of that file, and take a look at it. And has it got a passport? Now, the passport is this finite list of owners of the file that was part of the gold build. So, for example, Windows, Microsoft Windows Word. You would have installed that as part of the gold build or part of a HPCA or a CCM application, and the owner of that file will be put onto that machine by a set of trusted owners. So we can check that file. And then we pass this through. Now, anything that tries to execute be it now or in the future, whatever format that happens to be, batch, executable, script, or some brilliant new method that they find of executing, ultimately it has to go through the kernel filters to get to the CPU. And this is where we put the check. We put the check to see whether or not the file is owned by a trusted owner. And if it is, it's part of the gold build, it's allowed to proceed and it executes. Now, a user may introduce an application. If a user introduces an application, then they will be the owner of that file through NTFS. If you've allowed them to download it, if you allow them to put it onto the hard disk, then they will be the owner of that file. There's no way they can get around that, not unless you give them admin rights to take ownership, which of course you wouldn't do. So this file could be introduced from wherever. It could be in whatever format. It could be in the next 6 years' time. It doesn't matter. This file has been introduced by a user. The same simple checks. Very simple, very quick. No massive whitelisting or blacklisting, no updating required. We check the file, and the file hasn't got the passport. Therefore it's blocked by default, as security should be, a line in the sand. No, you cannot introduce things. You should not be introducing them. Block it. If the user requires access to that file, then they have to go to central IT and request it so it can be packaged and sent down to them. It keeps the gold build safe. So basically, it's like a passport system. The passport is the trusted owner of the file NTFS ownerships. The beauty of this, it never needs to be updated. It will just work. It will work out the box from day one for the next 10 years. No need to update it. So hopefully I've shown you here is a different approach to security. Instead of using the standard methods that we've used before, the reactive that need to be updated, constantly checked, and a degree of luck, try a different way, think differently, a different way of doing security. If you'd like any further information, please visit us on Sabicon.